Hello and welcome to court. So we just went to one of our favorite thrift shops and found a ton of vintage and antique lace.
We've talked about this place before, but it's a reused craft store that we frequent frequently, and we just end up getting incredible deals every time that we go.
This time there were literal buckets full of trim. Like, we're going to be showing off, I think, at least 20 pieces today, and that doesn't even like scratch the surface of what was there.
Like we said, we know a lot of these are vintage and antique, but we can't necessarily place exactly where the different lace pieces are from. So if you know, make sure to comment below and let us know.
Let's jump into the first piece. It is absolutely beautiful. I love the floral detail on it. I love the stitch work. I love the beautiful lacing and the piping. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. It definitely is a collar piece. I have no idea what I'm going to use it for. I'm thinking about doing a like modern take on the like lingerie dress. So this might end up being a collar. I don't know. It's gorgeous though. It's so beautiful. It's so light. It's so delicate. It feels like I'm literally holding nothing.
I was going to say the same thing. It's really, really delicate and it's beautiful. This next piece is really, really interesting. It's got that vintage feel to it. It definitely looks like it was machine done, and I don't know if the machine cut out the pieces or if it was a piece of fabric that was embroidered over and then somebody hand cut out the pieces, but it is just really, really interesting and really, really intricate.
This piece is a lot sturdier than the last piece, but that's like setting the bar low because the last piece felt like air and this feels like tissue paper. So, you know, it's got a little bit more substance, but like the comparison, you know? This next piece of lace looks like it's supposed to be mimicking flat lace crochet work, but I think it's machine done. The stitching is just extremely, extremely uniform, and there doesn't seem to be like any difference in any of the outer scalloped like areas of the flowers, which leads me to believe that it was likely machine done, but I might be wrong.
This one's another fun one. It actually looks like it was almost pulled off of a sleeve or of, you know, a garment of some kind, but it is just super fun, super spring, and super cute.
You might hear some emergency response vehicles. It's an every night thing for us, so there's no way to avoid it.
Sorry.
These pieces of lace were definitely done by a machine. You could just see that it's very uniform and there is not much difference between the back and the front. I know there are very skilled embroiderers out there that can do that, but typically, like, we are humans. There's some sort of evidence that possibly human hands have come across this. And in this particular piece, there is not. They definitely do look like they came off of some sleeves, so I would love to like see them get that life again. This next piece is a bit of lace, a bit of mesh. It is more of a trim than like pure lace, but it is absolutely gorgeous. It is double layered. So beautiful. There is a thin line of lace at the very top with some floral print, and then there is some lace at the bottom of each layer that is also floral print, but it is not quite the same as the layer that is on top. In between those layers is delicate mesh. I love this. It is so dreamy and airy and absolutely beautiful. There's not a lot of it, but it's beautiful.
You said everything. It's stunning.
End of video.
This next one is super fun. It looks to me like it's from the 60s or 70s. And it's just super fun. It's got some little yellow dots that kind of go through the entire trim, and these cute little flowers that kind of look like faux eyelets almost. But it's super fun. And you know how much I love the 70s.
There is a lot of this specific trim. A ton. I was thinking of doing a shift dress out of it, and also some shorts, and also maybe like some shorts for the baby, because
And also,
I mean, quite literally, we could also make you like a tunic top. There's so much of this. It is super cute, and I definitely want to make sure that it gets put to good use. The next one that we have for you looks like it might have been hand done. There are squares within these little bubbles, I think they're supposed to be, and they're not all the same size, which is what leads me to believe that it might in fact be hand done. There's probably about 3 or 4 yards of this, so there's a lot to work with.
This next one definitely seems like it is more vintage rather than antique, mostly because it just feels a little bit more plastic than the other ones that we've seen so far today. It's got kind of a little frill. It's got the horsehair up top, and it's super cute. It's super fun. It's got the little ruffle to it, and it's nice.
Our next piece, I believe, is also vintage. It just has that more acrylic, artificial feel to it. Nothing's wrong with that. We got it, so we clearly don't have a problem with that. But it just leads to the likelihood that it is probably vintage. It also hasn't worn down as much. It's not like a cellophane, so it's probably vintage. Anyway, now that I've said probably vintage 4,000 times in the last like 4 seconds, let's show you this. So it has some flowers. The edges are really fun design. It's super cute, and it's flat lace, so it could be used in the upcoming lingerie dress. We believe that this next one is antique. I am by no means like a lace expert, but it very much gives me the vibe of some of my grandma's dresses that are from the 20s. It's really light. It's a little bit sturdy, but it's still super light and airy. And although this is also a floral print, it's more geometric than what you would typically see later on in the 20th century. I mean, I might be wrong. It might be earlier than that. It might be later than that. But I've definitely seen comparable things in my grandma's closet.
This next one, we are kind of convinced that it is handmade, mostly because it has some of those human errors to it, and it's not entirely uniform. It's still done incredibly well, and you can see just a lot of the work and detail. It looks like it used a slightly bigger crochet hook to make it, and the work is just stunning. You can see that there was a lot of time and effort put into this. All right, again, we are not lace experts, so we have no idea. We are pretty much just making this up off of our own personal interpretation and what we think it is. But this next lace we think is actually from the Edwardian era. It's got some really fine details. It's super delicate. It feels like nothing. It is so light, and the netting between the designs is actual like crocheted lace almost. It's not done by hand, it's done by machine, but you can tell that it isn't quite made the same way that later laces were made.
We have absolutely no idea what era the next one is from, but we are both in love with it. It is a ribbon, and then on that ribbon is some embroidery, and then attached to either side of that ribbon is some beautiful, intricate lace. Absolutely stunning. Dionysus, I know you have a ton to say on this.
It's just so pretty. It looks like it was, embroidered obviously on the ribbon, and they just went down the entire line with the same embroidery pattern. But then attaching the lace to it as well, it's just really, really pretty.
You can actually see, if it focuses, those hand stitches on to the lace and the ribbon, and that ribbon is see-through. It is not like a satin ribbon. It is a beautiful cotton ribbon.
We think that a lot of these different pieces were taken off of clothing or salvaged from, other articles of clothing. And that's why there's so many irregular pieces and irregular sizes. And I just am really curious as to what this could have possibly been taken off of, because I bet it was beautiful.
Stunning.
This one we think is also vintage. It's got that cross-stitch kind of pattern and feel to it. It's still super cute, but you can tell that it's definitely a little bit more plasticky, and it's just a simple kind of pointy, cute cross-stitch-esque lace.
For this next one, I don't actually know exactly when it might be from.
You don't know when this one's from?
I don't actually know when this is from.
What?
I know that's surprising because I'm a lace and trim expert and I studied laceology in school. But this is a little bit out of my area of expertise.
Wild.
We've talked about how most of these items came from other items, and that is definitely the case here. You can see at the very top of this, there has been some damage from where it was removed from its garment or curtains. We don't really know what it was used for. There's also some staining, but I know how to get that out. This is a cotton piece with some embroidery on it, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I really do like this piece because that's likely what the entire piece looked like. And this top part here is just bias tape. So it is just a binding to sort of finish off that lace. I'm not sure if it would have been sold like that or if it was an addition.
All right, so I know that you studied laceology. So this next piece, I know that we were having a conversation over.
Did you see how I forgot that I'm not wearing my glasses, and I was like, nope. Continue.
It's fine. But I know that you studied laceology, so I know that we've been talking about this one, and we're having difficulty deciding if it was done by hand or by machine, because it's got some of those imperfections, but it also is just so tightly done and done with such a thin thread.
There's so much uniform, but there's not complete uniform from front to back. That makes me feel like it might have been done by hand. But I know you have other thoughts, Dionysus.
Well, I think it might be done by machine just because there are some of the different, like, puckering techniques and things like that, and the edges just seem like it is something that could have potentially, been done by machine. So it's just one of those mysteries that we don't know.
If any of you have any insight into any of these, definitely let us know. Because there are some that are just total mysteries to us, despite my PhD in laceology. The next one that we have for you is super, super delicate. It's super light. It's not one of the most delicate ones that we have, but it is a lot more fragile than some of the vintage ones that we know are vintage. It's just a beautiful beautiful piece of flat lace.
This one's another just really fun vintage piece that we've got here. It definitely has that embroidered flower, and it's just flowers on end with each other, and it's super, super cute.
This next one is one that you've probably seen a reproduction of. It is super, super simple, super pretty, super frilly, and we love it. There's about 2 yards of this, So we figured since it is such a staple, we might as well get it. This next one I think might be Edwardian. It is really fragile, super fragile, and there is spaces to add a ribbon to it. For my lingerie dress, this will definitely be one that gets used. There is some yellowing, which I don't really think I'm going to address when I do use it, because I feel like it'll only add more character to anything that I make.
This next one's tinier, but it is literally just a bunch of little eyelets. They all look like they are, you know, hand done. It's got the fine little details in it. They're all uniform, so it was obviously done by machine.
You just said that they were hand done.
They were hand done by machine.
Somebody didn't go to laceology school. Someone's not a laceologist.
I'm sorry, I'm still working on my degree, okay?
As a PhD.
No. It's just a bunch of little eyelets.
That's the professional term for it. This next one is definitely vintage. It's giving me that plastic feel. It's giving me that non-BPA free feel to it. It's cute though. It's cute. And there's like 2 yards of this. It's all flat lace. And I love it. It's just like a little circle at the bottom, creating almost a scalloped look. And then some netting, and at the very, very top, there is some really delicate vertical stitch work, but this was definitely machine done. It feels that way, and it's way too uniform not to be.
This next one is super delicate. It looks and feels antique. It's got a little eyelash on the edge and a cute little like swirly pattern to it. It's just a really nice, delicate lace. I like it. And now back to plastic. This next one is definitely vintage. It's super cute as well. It's just a circly pattern, trim, flat lace. Definitely done by machine, but it's super cute. I love it.
This next one, I can't tell if it's vintage or antique. It's very delicate, but if it is antique, someone took really, really good care of this, or it was never used. This one does come on its own little cardboard piece, so it may never have been used before. It is really, really pretty. It doesn't have the discoloring that some of the other pieces do, so I'm not quite sure on this one. It could really lean either way, but it's pretty either way.
This next one is another one that we can't quite decipher if it is antique or vintage. It's got that same very delicate feel to it where it could be done either way. It was definitely made by machine, but it is just super, super delicate.
We have a surprise for 2 things at the end, but this is our last piece of lace, and it is so beautiful. It's not actually lace. It appears to be ribbon that someone added scalloping to and then cut away the rest of the ribbon. It is cotton. There's a ton of discoloration from age. It is lavender, and it's just such a, it's like a deep lavender, but not quite grape. It's so beautiful.
It's very delicate, and it really seems like one of those things that could add that just that perfect finishing touch at the very end of a project and just pull everything together. And it's really, really nice.
And there's like 2.5 yards of this, so
so that's always fun.
So our last 2 items are not lace, but definitely found their place in this video. Y'all know that we are very anti-using pillows and pillowcases from thrift stores because, you know, poor people need them for their beds. they need sheets. We're poor. We've had to use those items. However, this is specifically a craft supply store. So this was put in the fabric section, and when I saw it, I had to get it. I haven't even opened this yet, so we'll be doing an unboxing? It's not in a box. An unribboning?
An unribboning.
An unribboning. This is now an unribboning video. But here it is. There is some beautiful olive green ribbon, and it is from Wamsutta Super Kale sheets and pillowcases, and it is 108 by 120, and that's the size before hemming. It is 100% cotton, and then on the back it says Wamsutta Heritage Towels. This is not a towel. I don't know why it has that. But elegant colors, high fashion shades, distinctive prints, snowdrift whites. Wamsutta towels embody that built-in quality so characteristic of all the Wamsutta products. Only towels bearing the Wamsutta label represent true Wamsutta quality. Look for them wherever you buy Wamsutta sheets. I just realized that this is a commercial. The tag is a commercial. I kind of love that though, because, I mean, why not?
It makes sense.
There's only so much you can really say about this product, but you're paying for the whole tag, so you might as well. So let me go ahead and pull the ribbon off. This is really nice ribbon, and I'm really surprised that it hasn't frayed in all this time. I looked online to see when this might have been from, but I could not find exactly when it came from.
So if you know anything about Wamsutta, leave a comment down below.
Let us know. It's quite a lot of fabric as I open this up, and it looks like it was even starched, which is very not on brand for us. We don't starch anything, honey. But I do love this. This is really nice. It's quite a thick fabric. I think I'm going to use this as what I want to do for my lingerie dress. It's, I don't know if it was white. It's like an ivory now, but so many of the laces that we have discolored. And so if I put one of these laces or a couple of these laces up here next to it, you'll be able to see the difference. The outside definitely has more discoloring than the inside, if you can see.
But as you get into the inside, the color isn't too drastically different, which makes me believe that it wasn't actually white. Like, it was definitely an ivory.
It was definitely an ivory. This is one that I think I'm going to have to wash first, just to kind of get out some of that, like, yellowing that just comes with age. But it's beautiful. It's in mint condition, and I cannot wait to have a little summer outfit out of this. And there should be plenty left, so we can get, like, maybe matching baby outfits. That'd be cute.
Cute.
Be so cute. The last thing that we got is this delicate, absolutely beautiful applique. It is fully beaded. It is on this light, airy net, but the beading is like sturdy. It's heavy. It's got some weight to it.
It's delicious.
It is.
It's a treat for you.
It's a, ooh, feast your eyes on this. It is so, so beautiful. There are a few places where I will need to go in and mend this just because the beading is starting to come loose. But whoever had this previously had the same idea. And there are a few patches on the back where they basically wanted to make this a little bit more sturdy, but it still has that translucent quality. It is so delicate and so beautiful. Really the only thing I could see this on, because it's so opulent, like opulence, you own everything opulent, is a gown, is an evening gown. Ooh, what if we used this for our ball looks in October?
Ooh.
We have no idea what we're doing for the ball in October
idea.
at all, but I will specifically look for looks around this little applique just so it can be used, because this is outstandingly gorgeous.
There are so many amazing pieces that we were able to find, and I know that we have our favorites, but what's your favorite? Comment in the comments down below.
In a couple days, you're going to see a special video on this page talking about our t-shirt line launch. There are 2 designs that still have not been released to the public, although if you are a Squire, Noble, or Potentate for our coffee membership, you have seen them all by this point. We are so excited. We are so excited.
There aren't words. We're so excited. Like we're so excited. There's been a lot of work that we've put into this, and we're just so excited, and we've loved all of the positive feedback that we've gotten and all of the positive reactions that we've already gotten from our little previews that we've released on Instagram and on our Ko-fi page.
A lot of people have been asking a lot about these shirts. They will be shipped internationally, and there are some toddler exclusives, some things that are for kids as well. And for our adult sizes, it goes from 5XL all the way to extra small.
If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're interested in seeing more videos like this, feel free to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon for notifications. If you're a returning member, welcome back to court. We love having you here. It's always great to see you. Hope you're doing well. And until next time.
Bye.